Is there still a path to getting into a competitive university in the US? In this video, I'll be sharing 5 tips for getting accepted into a competitive 4-year university in the US. Hello, my name is Marissa and I'm a student success coach. I help students and families navigate the stressful college admissions process in the US by making sure students stand out from a crowded pool of applicants by giving them the ultimate writing techniques to craft their unique story. So in this video, I will be sharing how to get into a great university in the US and basically try to answer the question if it's still possible. And major hint, yes, it's still possible. All right, so my first tip is this. You need to develop a relevant list of universities to apply to. Make sure that you are crafting and building the right list of schools to really target as an applicant. Do your grades or marks meet the standard of admitted applicants on your list of schools? Or are you just kind of going with the flow of what you've heard, or schools that your friends got into, or the neighbor's child got into, and following a name brand? But is that school really a good fit for you personally? Are your SATs or ACT scores within the range of that institution or those institutions that you're taking a look at? What about your major or your potential majors, your potential areas of interest? I understand that we don't necessarily always know what we want to do with our lives, but sometimes we have inklings and we have interests. Well, do the universities on your list have room for you to follow your curiosities, for you to follow your passions? And along those lines, what about location, right? Is that university located in a place that you think you'd be able to thrive? I mean, are you somebody who can handle intense cold weather? If not, maybe you don't want to be in a school in the Midwest or the upper northeast coast of the US, because a good chunk of the school year, you're going to be in really freezing cold weather, right? And also, what about, again, back to majors that you would be interested in exploring? If you are, say, interested in political science, does that school offer really great internship programs, not just, great courses and solid professors, but what about the internship programs that you could use to boast on your resume to build your credibility, right? You want to make sure that you're building a list of relevant schools. Point number 2. Academic rigor. All right. Okay. I know sometimes we just want to play it safe and we want to make sure that we are getting the straight A's or almost straight A's, but colleges want to know that you are challenging yourself in the classroom, right? Are you, playing it safe academically just so you could say you have all these great high scores? Or are you actually challenging yourself with honors and AP and IB courses? Right? The grades matter, but it's also the learning experience that matters. If you are trying to pursue math and sciences, what challenging math courses did you take? And how did you do in those classes, right? While yes, test scores are still important, even though right now a lot of schools say that they're test optional, you still need to take your SAT and ACTs, because what they do is that they're checking the test scores against your GPA, your grade point average, to make sure that there's a consistency here. It's not, wow, they did really well in these tests or these tests, but then they're kind of struggling in these English and math classes during the school year, right? That would be a potential red flag. So academic rigor definitely matters. That's not going anywhere anytime soon. Right? Number 3, you want to demonstrate dedication in your extracurricular activities. What do I mean by that? Well, your interest outside of the classroom matters, right? It's part of the picture, the composite of who you are as a student, Okay, so you should have passions and activities that really show that you are genuinely committed to those activities. You've been a part of those activities for years. Maybe you spent years learning this instrument, and over time we saw the growth, maybe between middle school and high school or secondary school, rather. And then also, if maybe you played a sport, or you were dedicated to a cause in your local community, that should show, that should reflect in your application, that there's been years of effort behind these interests, because that's what conveys that they're genuine. Sometimes the temptation with students is to, you know, join a whole bunch of clubs this semester for a month here or 2 months here, a couple of months here, and just to make it seem as if they have all these activities. And I would say caution, right? When it comes to your extracurriculars, it's really about quality over quantity. All right, so I have given about 3 tips at the moment, and if any of this content is resonating with you right now, please feel free to write a comment below if you have a question, if you have a suggestion, or if you have some insight that is coming up as I'm sharing. Please feel free to write those comments. I'd love to read them and engage with you. All right, number 4, my 4th point. You want to have compelling letters of recommendation. Yes, yes. The letters of recommendation is the only section or part of your application where other people get to vouch for your character. Other adults that have interacted with you, be it a favorite teacher or a teacher whose course you really enjoy and whose course is also relevant to the field that you are pursuing, your high school counselor who's also going to be a really important person in this process, making sure that these individuals can speak to your character, that they know you. You're not just another face in their classroom, that they can engage and write some meaningful things about you in a letter that that give colleges an insight of your personality. For me, as a former teacher, one thing I really enjoy, I was tasked with, of course, writing recommendation letters for students in my English classes. And I really enjoyed writing about students who really made an impact in a particular class. These were the students that were deeply engaged in the material. They went above and beyond. They gave some unique insights. The class really benefited from having them be a part of those conversations and those dialogues, and they really expanded the learning opportunity, not just for themselves, but for everybody in the room. So when I was writing those recommendation letters as an English teacher, I really enjoyed, those moments where I could reflect and share how that particular student made an impact in my class. So you want to make sure that you are able to have those moments and be able to also remind the teacher or the individuals that you're asking for a recommendation letter of those moments, to hand to them so that they can recall them with ease in their recommendation letter. Okay. All right. My 5th and final point would be nailing the personal essay. All right, this really matters, right? Unlike any other aspect of your application, the personal essay is really who you are, right? Outside of the grades, outside of the accolades, outside of the activities, outside of what anybody else has to say about you, this is the part of the application where you get to use your voice. You get to tell your story. You get a chance to convey who you are, right? It's a unique opportunity, and you want to take advantage of it. You want to revel in it. This is the part where you share your personal conviction, you share meaningful life experience or reflection or insight, right? And of course, a good part of that is making sure that you're choosing the correct question to respond to. A lot of times with the Common Application, you have an option of about 7 different prompts that you can choose from. Make sure that you're choosing the one that resonates deeply with you, not the one that you think sounds good, right? But the one that you can actually convey a meaningful experience that gives colleges a sense of who you are when they are in that admissions room and reading and trying to understand your character. Okay. So those would be my 5 points. I'll go over those again, my 5 hot tips. There are definitely more, but these would be the 5 that I would say are really important. 1, develop a relevant list. Make sure that list is relevant to who you are. Number 2, academic rigor. All right. 3, make sure there's demonstrated interest in your extracurricular activities. 4, compelling letters of recommendation. And 5th and final one, nailing that personal essay. All right. That matters. That's not going anywhere anytime soon. So in this channel, I will be covering all things college admissions. I have had the unique opportunity to work with students for nearly a decade to help them craft their unique stories to apply to colleges and universities of their interest. And the students that I work with typically are applying to competitive schools in the U.S., top 50, top 25, and even top 10 schools in the U.S. Okay, so if this is a topic of interest to you, please make sure you like and subscribe to this channel and that you join my email newsletter so that we can stay connected. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to engaging with you and your comments. Take care, and until the next one.